This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Sex and Singapore City podcast, and I am Nick Selena. Hey, it's Nick Selena, and we haven't had a story time in a really long time. So I've got one today for you, and boy, is it a zinger. It's called... It's called He's My Fingering Game Changer. That's right, he is. Okay, firstly, disclosure, I have got the permission from the guy to do this episode because he's cool as fuck and a badass. So thank you for that, doll. Secondly, I feel like I owe this episode to the girls of the world, right? It's when I use the name game changer, I mean in every sense of the term. Okay, let's rewind. Let me set the scene for you. From my personal sexual experience, fingering has never really done a thing for me, right? It's like, oh, that hurts. In fact, usually it hurts. Like, oh, you're kind of causing fucking friction burn. And it's literally burning my loins. Not in a good way. And like they rub a lot really hard on the clit. And that doesn't work either. I'm like, oh, please stop. Awkward, right? Fingering has never been a vibe for me. Nor has squirting. Can you see where this is going? Spoiler alert already. Nor squirting. So for me, squirting or female ejaculation is something that I'd see like in porn or I'd hear about through the grapevine, like the mysterious female squirt, but I've never myself. It was, it's the same way as I don't orgasm or climax during penetrative sex either. I have to have the foreplay. A guy has to go down on me. And these days, I just need a toy. I can make myself climax, I reckon, in 3 to 4 minutes with a toy and I'm done, whereas a guy has to eat me out for 45 minutes. It's a while. It's a marathon going on there. This summer, right, I'd kind of abstained from using my toys for a bit. I just wasn't really in the mood, right, for sex or anything because I was, I was healing a broken heart and I just, wasn't in the mood and I'd done a lot of traveling. And then the next time I actually picked up my vibrator, I squirted everywhere, right? And then I was like, what the fuck was that? Oh, side note, I really need to say sorry to my producer publicly. You're such a good man. Thank you for listening to this in the morning. Anyway. Okay, focus. So I squirted everywhere. And I'm like, fuck me, I'm 35 and this has never happened. And I did nothing different. It wasn't some shiny new toy. It was my old clit suction vibrator, which I hero a lot and I love. And I wasn't watching anything. It was just me, my imagination and a small handheld clit suction toy. Soaked the floor. I'm not kidding. And I was like, what the fuck? And I really wanted to tell people, but I knew that wasn't normal to go around saying, oh my God, guess what? I've just squirted. It's some achievement in life. Because for me, it is, right? So the following week, I did it again. I thought, I'll see how. Because for me, I thought maybe that's like a unicorn, it's a one-off sighting. No, I did it again. So I'm like, hold on a second. Hold on a fucking minute. I've clearly just not been having the right sex with the right man, but then it's my whole life. So maybe men don't know how to. Or maybe I didn't know I could until I knew I could. I don't know. Because not even close. Do you know what I mean? I don't even actually climax or come during sex. So... how the fuck did I do that? And it didn't take long. So I've discovered, inside that I can squirt. And I feel like this really is, you know, a badge of honor for myself. I made myself a gold star. Put it on my fridge. So anyway, so that's a side note to the guy. So let's bring the guy in. So fast forward a few months and it's F1 weekend, right? And I'd been on the dating apps. I was on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. And I'd matched with some guys in Singapore that were over for said weekend. But this was maybe like a week and a half or so before the actual F1. But then I just got like disinterested in dating. I just wasn't interested. So this one guy that I matched with had flown in and was trying to like take me out for dinner and stuff. And I just, bless you, I know you're listening to this. And I just sort of stopped replying to him. I'm sorry, darling. You know I regret it, right? You know I regret this decision. I kind of stopped replying to him. But it wasn't because I wasn't interested in him. I just didn't feel need anymore. This is what happened. Okay. The crux of it is I found self-validation in myself completely alone. I feel like I reached the next level of who I am. And the idea of going on dates, just I don't need sex. If I have it, it's cool. You know, it's not like I'm a nun anymore. You know, there's here, there, and everywhere. But like, I'm not bothered. I'm not chasing. And all I want to do is hang with my girls. I found a really awesome group of women and just having so much fucking fun. So this guy's trying to arrange to see me. He has a hectic schedule. I'm like, yeah, busy. Some of the nights I wasn't. I wasn't busy. I was home with my cats. But even then I prioritize that, right? I'm like, I want to be with my babies. I want to sit at home. I want to chill, put my feet up, have an early night, run a bath, yo. That for me is living my best life as well. So yeah, kind of ignored him. And then I sort of said, well, I'm back to back. Yeah. I guess I was quite rude. This is weird because I know he's listening to this. I know he's tuning in from across the globe. So let's just remember this was my mindset before I met you, okay? So yeah, I ignored him, not interested. Then we come to F1, back-to-back partying, which, by the way, was one of the best weekends I've had in fucking years. I've done F1 before years ago, but I actually hosted a private event at the Fullerton. So I was working. It was a great view and, you know, some incredible people, but I was essentially working. So this time I actually enjoyed the whole fucking thing from start to finish, opening party to closing party level, watched the race. Awesome. At the closing party, I see this guy and I'm like, oh, girls, I matched with him. And yeah, he's hot. He's fucking hot. He's hot. He's really actually quite hot. So sucks to be me at this point. I'm like, oh, fuck. Anyway, cut a long story short, we went back to his hotel room, obviously. And I thought, yeah, right, fun. You know, I mean, I'd been drinking the whole weekend, and it's like 4 or 5 in the morning at this point, so let's roll. We went back to his hotel. And what happened next, right, has blown my fucking mind. I don't understand how I'm still texting him, like, how? How did you do it? But basically, yes, we had sex, lovely, lovely. But for me, my main highlight was the fact that he managed to finger me 4 times to the point I squirted. 4 different times. What? What? And it didn't take long either. And he's like, oh, yeah, the first time he did it, I was, God, this really is too much. Oh, fuck it. Nick Selena has no boundaries. I was lying on the bed and then, you know, he just goes for it and he goes really fast and then we're everywhere. And I went, what the fuck just happened? And he's like, you know, like you squirted. I was like, but sorry, how? What? And I only learned I can do that this year at the age of 35 by myself with a vibrator. And you've just done it in like a matter of minutes. And who the fuck are you? And where have you been my whole life? And why does not every man do? What did you do? I had a lot of questions. So he's like, He said, bless him, he's so cute. He's like, yeah, you just find the G-spot, and you just put it in, and then you put it back in. And he was like, yeah, I just find your G-spot like this, and then I go really fast like this, and then it happened again. And I'm lying there like, what? Yeah. 4 times later, I was like, can I keep you forever? Please. Sadly, I could not. He already flew out. I'm in shock. I'm telling my girls about it. I'm like, I cannot believe it. But it's given me so many questions. Like, why does not every guy know how to do this? And have I always been able to squirt like that, but I just wasn't being, treated correctly down there? I don't understand. This is like a whole new world of sex to me at this point. And I thought I'm a pretty experienced sex woman, given what I've done for the last 10 to 15 years as well. And I'm very open to all sorts. But this was simple fingering. There was no toys. There was no bondage. That always turns me on. There was no porn. There was no nothing. We had some champagne, and then he just set to work. And I just don't understand still to this day how have I never had that before? And my girlfriend in the UK, she's totally worse than me. We're besties. I told her, and she was like, oh yeah, did they do it this was like that machine thing, they go really fast? I was like, yes. She's like, oh yeah, it's really good. I'm like, how do you know about it? How the fuck, what? She's like, yeah. So I feel deprived at this point. I feel let down. I'm very angry at all the men that I've dated that have never done this to me. And to this guy, literally, you're my fingering game changer. You've set the bar now, right? You've raised it, set it. It's a record. And you've shown me that I can, in fact, squirt, but with a guy, and I can interact with fingering, which I've already, I gave myself loads of labels in my head, I can't orgasm for sex, and fingering hurts me, I don't like it, and this, that, and the other, and now it's all out the window. Just from one guy who was hot and great in bed. So yes, that's my story. That's my story time of my fingering game changer. And I really hope all of you women out there get to meet a guy like this. I would share him at this point if he still lived in Singapore. I would be I'm shamed. You gotta give that to other women. I can't keep that to myself. It's too good. It was just fucking, and 4 times. And I was drinking for a 12-hour period, both nights. I rocked in at 5 a.m. the night before. That night, we left at the party at 4 a.m. We're still drinking. Usually when you're drunk, it's even harder. No, 4 times. Yeah. I'm just going to leave this episode here. I will do a episode in the future, a proper educational, informative one, not a story time, on female ejaculation and squirting, because I think that's a subject I've not actually touched upon yet. I probably didn't touch upon it because I didn't know I can do it. And now I can. A lot. So now I can talk about it. To the guy, you're my hero. You know you are. To everyone else listening, you deserve better fingering. I guarantee you're not having it the way you should have it. And if your man's not, let's Google, let's find, let's show him the way, and let's all get to that point, because you're never going to regret it. And that's the end of this episode. Thanks for listening to the Sex and Singapore City podcast. This episode was produced and hosted by me, Nick Selena, and recorded at the Splicecast studio in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more awesome content and features to read, you can check out my website, sexandsingaporecity.com. That's sexandsingaporecity.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.